Alright guys, walking shoes can be a bit of a minefield, right? I wouldn't call myself a footwear geek or anything, but I've worn enough of them across enough bogs and rocky ridges to know when something works, guys, and when it really doesn't. I walk pretty much every day, whether it's long walks, hills, fields or roads, you name it really. And I currently wear three very different pairs of trainers, which I'm going to walk and talk you through today. The Merrell Moab, the Scarpa Crux and the Hoka Kaha Low 3. They're not sponsored guys, they're not box fresh either. This is real world stuff after proper miles on British terrain in all weathers. So if you want the real deal on these shoes, stick around, I promise you, this will definitely help. Right guys, we're starting with the oldest pair that I still actually wear out walking, my Merrell Moabs. These things have been with me for, I kid you not guys, a decade now. They've got proper miles on the clock, hundreds if not thousands, and you know what? They're still hanging in there, the grip's still solid, and they're still surprisingly comfortable considering the mileage. Are they stylish guys? Not particularly, but they've never let me down, and the laces are still intact 10 years later. There is a hole now on the inside and I did fully intend to retire them guys, but for reasons you'll see later, on a dry day like this, I still reach for them now and again. Honestly guys, these shoes have been like an old mate over the years. They always turn up when you need them. Next up it's the Scarpas. Now this one hurt guys, because I love my Scarpa boots, the Delta GTXs. I've had three pairs over the years and they're absolutely great. So a couple of years ago I thought I'd get some walking shoes by Scarpa as well. The Crux look sturdy, they've got a good grip, reinforced toe, perfect for the rocky northern ground that I often walk on, but then they split at the seam after barely any wear guys. I've hardly used them at all, they're practically new. But no chance of a return now, unfortunately. So I wear these the least and I reverted back to the Moabs until the holes appeared. Comfort wise, they're okay, but they're not great. So you really need thick socks or maybe an insole, because they're very well cushioned, but the sole's a bit hard. The laces also seem to come undone a lot as well, guys. I want to love these, I really do, but for the price and for Scarpa's reputation, they have been a bit of a letdown, honestly. I've even thought about stitching them up myself because aside from the seam, they're in great condition. But really guys, I shouldn't have to do that, should I? Last but not least guys, it's the Hokas. These are everywhere at the moment. They're chunky, they're stylish, and they've crossed over from running into hiking and everyday wear. In terms of first impressions, they were super comfy guys. They're cushioned, they're light, and I really like the look. They're ones you can wear casually as well as through fields like these. But then guys, they've not been without problems either, I'm afraid. Within a day or two I started feeling a weird twinge in a tendon in my foot. It could be a coincidence because I do a lot of walking, but every time I wore them I felt it, especially at the start of a walk. The Hokas have a thick, heavily cushioned sole with a noticeable heel to toe drop, which kind of rolls you forward as you walk. It's less of a heel strike and more of a rock and roll motion, which can be great for long miles, but it definitely changes your walking action compared to a flatter shoe. Anyway, just when I was getting used to them and the tendon got better guys, they split. A small seam tear, just 2 months in. It's not massive, but they're definitely not waterproof anymore. And it's not what you expect or what you want from a Gore-Tex shoe. To be fair, Hoka's customer service was actually pretty good. They asked me for a few pictures and they're going to swap them for a replacement pair. So fingers crossed guys, hopefully I'll get on better with the new pair. But honestly guys, if you're tempted by Hokas, just be aware, try them out properly if you can, because trust me, when you do a lot of walking, it really does matter. So what's the verdict guys? All three definitely have their place, but there are some clear trade-offs. The Hokas are light, comfy and stylish, but let's be honest guys, they've had a rocky start. Tendon pain and a split within 2 months is not ideal. That said, I'm cautiously optimistic that the replacement pair will be a better investment over time. The Scarpas feel very sturdy, but the comfort isn't quite there for me, I'm afraid. And that seam failure so early on, it isn't great at all. With some stitching and some thick socks, they might still have a role, but they won't be my first choice, I'm afraid. And the Merrell's guys, they're the unsung heroes. They're not flashy, they're not perfect, but they've outlasted expectations. They've paid for themselves many times over and are still a solid dry day backup. If I had to pick one on pure performance and value, the Merrells clinch it. But here's hoping the Hokas prove themselves in the long run. If you've got a favourite walking shoe, guys, seriously let me know in the comments. I'm always on the lookout for the next pair. And if this video helped, like, subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one, guys.